So we've looked previously at what a classical Christian education is, and we've looked at a couple of its constituent pieces, which are the grammar stage and the logic stage. The grammar stage focused on teaching a child what is true and imparting to them knowledge. The logic phase aimed to help a child synthesize these truths into something that is good and not something that is evil. It tried to impart to them true wisdom. Now, during the rhetoric phase, we take a child and we try to teach them what is beautiful. How can we take those constituent components that we learned in the grammar stage, synthesize them in a way that's cohesive and makes sense, and like we aimed to do in the logic phase. And the rhetoric phase aims to try and put work clothes on those things to incorporate them into life so that it can be beautiful. For there is nothing more beautiful than a human being who's filled with knowledge and understanding, living consistently with those things. Such is the beauty of a human being. The beauty of a man is for a man to live as a man. The beauty of a woman is for a woman to live as a woman. And so during the rhetoric phase, we've taken this knowledge that we've synthesized and we put work clothes on it and send it out to do things. So for example, an application of the synthesization of mathematics from the logic phase incorporated into beauty would be the solving of a problem like something like, I need to build a bridge across this valley. However, I can't just start from one side and build the bridge straight across to the other side because the bridge will collapse on the way. The bank on this side cannot sustain the weight of a bridge just built straight across. So the rhetoric, or the true beauty then of mathematics, would be someone taking the information that they've synthesized from the other areas of knowledge and building a bridge across a valley, beginning at one side and also beginning at the other side, so that that bridge meets in the middle. That is the sort of thing that we're talking about when we talk about the rhetoric stage. Really, like I said, we teach what is beautiful, or this is a clearer way to say it. What is understanding in action? See, we've taught understanding back in the logic phase. What is understanding in action? And I submit to you that understanding in action is beautiful. Understanding in action is wisdom. So during the rhetoric phase, we teach the child what is understanding in action. We try to impart wisdom to the child. This corresponds primarily to the high school period, where children become experienced in the high school age. What are many children most concerned about? Their appearances. Yes? They want to know how they look. So we take advantage of this to try and get them to see, well, you understand how you're concerned with your looks and how you appear to other people, right? You're concerned with your image. The rhetoric phase would try to teach a child what really are the things worth looking at. What really are the things worth displaying, worth building, worth making, worth doing, worth saying, and saying well. So, as far as the language skill is concerned, in the rhetoric phase, as a language skill, we would teach a child how to speak and communicate their ideas effectively to the world. If you've seen the video where I talked about what classical education is not, I said that it's not vocational training. What classical Christian education aims to do is to form children who live understanding that Christ is the integrating principle, the hub by which the world goes round. And so, in the rhetoric phase now, we want to teach them how to communicate those truths to change society, to change the world. But don't just think globally, think cosmically. That is how we relate and the earth relates to God. But then act in a way that's consistent with what you know and what you understand. Act in a way that's consistent with those things towards your neighbor. I mean, the guy living next door to you. So during the rhetoric phase, we teach the child to incorporate beauty, to say things well, to speak well. In math, we understand what so here's the different subjects in the rhetoric phase, what it might look like in teaching a child, okay? In theology, how can I consistently reflect the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ? That would be something for the rhetoric student to understand and then be able to communicate. In history, what should I do today, knowing that tomorrow I will be a yesterday? In reason, we might expect a child to speak well as a good man or woman. How can I move my hearers? How can I move the affection of my hearers in accordance with the truths that I'm saying? In English, like I said, that deals with the same thing with how can this be said well and effectively. In geography, during the rhetoric stage, a child would be able to know how the U.S. relates to Canada, Mexico, and the world, but they would also be able to communicate that effectively to others, okay? And able to incorporate and move consistently with the understanding that they've gained previously. So during the grammar stage, we teach what is true. We stuff the kids full of knowledge by repetition, recitation, and the use of their memory. During the logic phase, we take the child and we teach them how to synthesize this information in a way that's good. They've taken the truths that they learned from the grammar stage, they relate them to one another in a way that's good. And now during the rhetoric stage, they take these things which they've related to each other and they understand they're good, and they understand why they're good, and then they put work clothes on their understanding to display what is beautiful, to put understanding into action, which is wisdom. So in classical Christian education, we aim to teach what is good, or what is true, good, and beautiful. We aim to give the child knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, and try and make them fully human and cultivate their loves. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and I'll do my best. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Have a good one.